Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris and I just got done seeing Bohemian Rhapsody. So Bohemian Rhapsody tells the story of Freddie Mercury and his band from start to finish. How the band got together, how they created some of their most famous songs, and of course some of the demons that Freddie suffered that ultimately ended his life. And that's all pretty much say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just going to tell you what I like about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, breaking down the elements of the film and giving you a final ranking. Now I gotta be honest with you, I like the music of Queen, but I'm not gonna lie here and say I'm a big fan. I know everything about them. I can't even name 2 albums, but I would be lying if I said I didn't have at least 14 of their songs on my playlist. So being that I like their music and I knew very little about the band or the man, this biopic had me hooked even from pre-production when this was originally gonna star Sacha Baron Cohen and it was set to be a hard R biopic of Freddie Mercury's life. Awesome, but unfortunately heirs to Freddie's story and band members just really disagreed with that concept. But then we got Malek as our Freddie Mercury and Bryan Singer to direct, and that's still not a bad pairing. And another little small tidbit is the director was actually fired from this movie after he shot about 80% of it, mostly because he was absent or late a lot of the times on set, and he even had a couple of disputes with the lead actor Malek. But all this behind the scenes nonsense aside, did it ruin the movie? Hell no. Let me go into some of the positives for the movie. The obvious one is Rami Malek's performance. He gives an amazing performance. I don't even know if I can say this is exactly what Freddie Mercury was, or he captured everything about him, because all I know is what I've seen on stage from him. Freddie Mercury is this lively, mysterious butterfly of a person, and to be able to capture that on screen and say, wow, I would have loved to have met that guy, that's when you know you've given a really good performance. But not just Rami Malek's performance, the other band members in this movie also had their moments to shine. I liked every single one of them, and I was kind of begging for more towards the end of the movie. You also can't talk about this movie without, of course, mentioning the soundtrack, that if you're watching this movie, I have to assume you're gonna love this soundtrack. But the great thing about it is that the soundtrack is basically the score of the movie, and it sets every little scene, emotional pull, tone setting, transitioning from scene to scene. The music really played as a character, reminding you why you're in this audience, celebrating these people decades later. There were about 1 or 2 times with the song they were playing didn't really match with what was happening on screen, but 2 times out of the 20 times they used their songs, that's not a bad ratio. You also have a cameo in here by Mike Myers that, oh my god, was some of the best stuff in this movie. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I want you guys to experience that for yourselves, but please, please, look out for the Wayne's World reference, because it went over my head and then 5 minutes later after it was said, oh yeah, that's funny. But really, just the amount of stuff they were able to cram into this movie, although it feels a little bit of a mixed bag, I'm really happy they got to cover a beginning and ending to this. I grew a greater appreciation for Freddie and the band members. It was nice to see some of the story tidbits. It was good reliving their best songs. But when it's all said and done, I have to be honest and say this is going to be nowhere near conversation time for Oscar season. And I'm not trying to be a stick in the mud. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys, because when a movie is telling a story of someone you love as an artist, from a singing point to songs that really meant a lot to you growing up, or if you just really identified with Freddie because of his lifestyle and he was a huge influence to you at that point, I don't want to offend anybody, but I do have to say this movie has a few problems in it. For one, this movie feels like Queen, the highlights. And what I mean by that is, I went in hoping to learn a lot about Freddie, about the band, about everything that went along with their growing fandom, with the behind the scenes drama, and what ultimately killed Freddie. Now, if you don't know what killed Freddie Mercury, I encourage you not to Google it, and I won't be telling it to you. Just watch it play out in the movie and you'll appreciate it just a little more. And I will say there was some outrage at the beginning of the year that they weren't really being heavy with Freddie's lifestyle, with being gay or bisexual. And I have to say, those people are going to be completely happy, because his sexuality and lifestyle and everything that went along with that is basically the main driving narrative in this movie. Because you get the scenes of him joining the band, of having a one-hit album, of having trouble with the band, then hitting another hit album. It's funny because the movie is actually pretty subtle and downplays his sexuality. It doesn't show a lot of it. It's not really in your face of, hey, I'm gay and this is what I spent my life doing. But at the same time, it cannot be said it's ignored, because it's the driving force of the movie. It works to its benefit and negative. There's no real way to explain it. You just kind of have to experience it. But the reason I'm touching upon all this is because I really did not learn much about Queen from watching this movie. It was really just like watching a highlight biopic. I was hoping to get deeper into the Freddie character and find out just a little bit more about what made him tick. You can't tell me that Freddie was 100% confident all of his life. And I know some people out there will say, no, yeah, he was, and that's why he's successful. Anybody who gets into that industry has doubt. Anybody who puts themselves out there like that has a moment of, damn, what if they don't accept me? There was never really those moments in the movie, and also the band members were put off to the side. It's not Freddie Mercury the biopic, it's Bohemian Rhapsody. And in the movie, it'll tell you that this movie represents us, that we are Queen, we're divided 4 ways, but this movie was really 75% one person and 25% other people. This movie will pack a powerful punch, it will leave an imprint on you, and it'll have you singing Queen music the rest of the year. It's still an amazing movie, it's still a great fun ride. I just expected a little more from such an amazing iconic character that was Freddie Mercury. Alright, so for Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm gonna give action 1 star. There really isn't moments of action in here. You're not gonna find a lot of fight scenes, car chases, but the moments in concert, watching Freddie move around, really great. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I thought there were great moments of comedy in here, mostly throughout the band members and not really Freddie himself. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 3 stars because I still feel they did a great job of making me sympathize for Freddie and learning just a little bit about him, but not enough that I was hoping for in this 2-hour-long movie. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it no stars. This isn't really something you'd be scared of. You definitely sympathize and feel bad for what happens to Freddie, but nothing you're really scared of. And suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars, just mainly for that last concert scene. Just really great, playing all that music and being in the crowd and just kind of experiencing what Freddie did that day. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it an A+. Cinephiles, I'm going to give it a B-. And critically, I'm going to give it a C+. For Bohemian Rhapsody, I recommend you watch it in theaters. But that's really my opinion on the film, guys. Let me know what you thought about the movie if you got around to see it. Also, let me know your favorite Queen song or the song you ended up loving the most in the movie. If I had to pick one, it's I Want to Break Free. I just love that song every time it comes on my phone. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.